John McCaig with JesusChristTrust.net. Now, I mean, this whole transvestigation, who's this, they change their sex and all that stuff. That's mostly a hoax. It does happen, of course. But if you look at the other team, all the famous people, all of them have a mix of gender attributes. It's not possible for one of the humans, like, who's playing this game to become famous. That is never going to be possible. Not ever, never. And they're here to be like, oh, look what you could be. You could be anything you want in America. That's complete bullshit. I mean, no way. That is one of the many lies. They have roles to perform here in Disney World. And as angels, they are not of one sex or the other. You see, they haven't got to that point where they're gender specific. An angel is, gender anomalous. They don't have a gender. And so in the physical form, when they reach that physical form, they have parts of male and female attributes. You see, when they take the physical form. And they can pop back into the ether and have so many abilities and all that stuff. But when they have a physical form, it has male and female attributes. That's why when we come into this world, one of the main things here is clothing. Wouldn't it be easy to spot who's like a real woman and who's a real man if you, didn't wear clothes? That'd be pretty easy. You see, you don't have to wear clothes in warmer climates, but it's a, programmed response to where we find ourselves, right? But, one of the things that would make it really clear as to who's who and what's what is if people didn't wear clothing. You see, then they'd be super easier to spot. So it's really, part of their character to dress in clothes that make it hard to figure out. Oh, are you male? Are you female? Or, and even if they dress as a hard male or hard female or whatever, they still have attributes of the other sex, like the bone structure. Oh, I'm a man, you could say absolutely anyone famous. Like all the famous women have, very male jaws and shoulders and, thin hips and just all these attributes that are male. And, the men have wide hips and, widow's peak and their eyes are close together and they don't have big jaws. And so, let's just get down to the question. Either, transvestite, you like switching your gender appearance, including your body and everything, right, is real, in which case, how many humans would be doing just a ridiculous amount of surgeries? And it would be so many. That's what their life would be, doing surgeries. No, that's stupid. That's silly. It does not to mean that some, of those creatures don't do that. Some do. Okay, some do to make it like there are some factories here, but most things just pop out of the ether that are on Walmart shelves and every shelf here. There's no factories creating them here. This is a made up illusion, this world, and the illusion that they're getting, dozens at least of surgeries and switching their gender appearance. That's crazy, super rare. Most of the creatures here are just born, certainly all the famous are born with attributes of both male and female. That's it. That's the thing that they're actually hiding, which is once you see it, it's like, oh, okay. Then fallen angels, right? They're easy to spot, right? Because they have parts of both genders. Like, you know, they're a subhuman, meaning they're a human precursor. They're going to become an actual human in another lifetime when they reincarnate at some point, but they haven't done it yet. An acorn is a tree, just hasn't become a tree yet. That's all. It's that's a little tree. It's becoming an acorn. Yeah, but it's an acorn now. It's not a tree. You see? So that's just what they are, and they're easy to pick out. So it's just one more, anytime you see like channel after channel after channel after channel, like transvestites, transvestigation, da 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 da, it's fake. Like all the names on the accounts are fake names. It's like, oh, you got to check out Next Wex's work, or just all these names that aren't people, And they're throwing out all this information like, no, this is real, this is real, this is real. Just way too many videos, way too many of them making it, way too much pushing the agenda, thousands and thousands of views, meaning it's fake. Anything they push like that on is just fake or useless and worthless, right? Football game, oh my God. Everyone can watch it and million, it's like, who cares? That doesn't help anything, So you could just see by their habits of, oh, hey, let's push this stuff out there. Whatever they're pushing super hard out there, complete lie. Complete lie. A to Z lie. Just like this is. I'm not saying, oh, there's some angels that, get into this, their next body after earning their wings. It's like, oh man, I was both genders. Now I'm kind of like woman. And then they start slashing up the body back to the middle ground where they were before. Because Mir Baba says, you don't get to advance in the evolution through the forms until you accept you're the form you're in. And then oh, I'm this. Then you can be the next form. But if you still think you're the last form, well, because these angels, they remember their previous lifetimes. They're like, oh, I was an in-betweener last time. I want to be that now. It's like, well, that's not advancing, So that's them cutting themselves up like that when they find themselves in that predicament. But that's a small amount of them. Okay? All right. Just clearing up one more absolute giant, mind-bogglingly huge, continuous, hundreds of millions or billions or trillions of dollars spent on pushing this hoax out, right? Just if you see it coming out like that, it's like, yeah, and space is real too, right? Always the same, right? It's the same pattern of push the lies. This is real. And then it's always fake name accounts. And it's always, they haven't done anything. You don't even know who they are. And they're all saying the same things word for word. No, it's always just so easy to spot. It only takes me like a quarter second now. Oh, you're one of them. That's all. All right. To get in the game, you have to see a game is being played around you and who's playing that game down on you. That's the only way to beat them. You're in a game. So your goal is to win the game, or else you lose and they win. So win. Knowledge wins. The truth sets you free.